So since you've seen the positive effects of what you have brought to the world, how would you compare that with what they're being taught in public schools?
So what they're being taught in regards to the sciences that we teach and the curriculum that you mentioned or asked about, having a knowledge of self means to know who you are, who your people are, what's the experiences that happen, what happened in our story, not his story, what happened in the past, which can dictate where we're going to go and what's actually happening now, and preparing our children for real life experiences and not just giving them something that appears to be something, but actually what it is. And so we bring a realistic perspective to the teachings. Where we were in the past, how right now, they learned about the civil rights era and how our people fought for freedom, justice, and equality. But there's a new climate now that's happening. That's a realistic climate. They hear the news. They have eyes. They have ears. They know that there's shootings happening amongst young people and things to that effect. And they know that this is something that's affecting their community, affecting their people. Therefore, how can they make that difference? What is it that they can do to be... I call my group of children the generation of our future. They are the future now. And so they have to understand what their job is and what their impact will be, just going forward. They need to know exactly what they need to be doing for things to be better.
So, how would you say that public schools can improve the system that they have now? Because I work in public schools, me personally.
Sometimes I see the public schools doing an okay job on certain things. I feel like the public schools is stepping it up when it comes to giving the history from a realer perspective than like the generation that I come from. We got whitewash. We were blacked out by whitewash, if you will. Like, we did not get that real story about 1492 and Columbus sailing the ocean blue. We really thought that was a real thing. Our children now are being taught that he was a real pirate, and that he didn't discover anything. So the public schools, sometimes I feel like, okay, they're doing okay, but then when it comes to certain things like celebrating pride and having a come out of the closet day for elementary school, it's just like, oh, damn, here's the major fail again. So I do think that they're making an effort. However, you can't separate culture from education. Whatever our children or whatever setting, cypher, space they're in to learn, you're going to get someone's culture because it's in the curriculum. So they're not being taught critical thinking skills the way they need to be taught. They're not being taught the values of our proverbs that come from Africa, that 3-year-olds on the continent can break down and describe in its entirety and the purpose behind them. They're not being taught what it means to be communal. They're not being taught a lot of different things that we have that time and that space for. We have the desire to make sure that our children know and understand the value. Why do you go further if you have more people as opposed to going faster alone? Because of the resources, because of the ability to be able to build and share and give to one another to take you further along the journey. So that's a proverb. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. So these are the things that our children are learning on an everyday basis, implementing, living out, not just practicing, which is, contradicting to what the public schools are teaching.
If Mecca did this.